Hey, check this out. What's up everybody, I'm Abatage, and let's check out Punch Club, The Dark Fist. This is another one which probably did not escape many people's attention when it came out. It had a very, very hyped time in the sun. And yeah, for good reason. I actually quite like it, but I haven't gotten heaps far in it, that's for sure. Big Slayer here is my fighter. Let's jump in. It's all, it's all time-based. You see I've done 139 days. I'm level 6, and level 4. Honestly, I haven't done a lot of fights. Current position is 6. I've done like 1 fight in Ultimate Fights. I'm still kind of getting there. So, if you know anything about the game, that's something that will kind of tell you where I'm up to. But basically, this is a clicker. It's one of the best looking clickers you have ever seen. You've got resources up here that need to be managed, that will go down with activities. You've got stats which need to be, improved and leveled up as we have here. You can see these are the ones I've got, these are the ones I haven't got. They cost skill points, and basically each one costs more skill points, so you're probably never going to get everything, but hey, you'll get there. But so you level your character up and all that kind of thing. You've got to earn cash. You've only got a certain amount of time in each day, and at the end of each day your stats will drop just through existence. But yeah, it's a clicker. Do not be fooled. It is a clicker. All you're doing is managing this shit at the top here. And this is a very, very good looking interface with which to do so. Now, that's not to take anything away from the game, because I really like it, and I enjoy it. And it's very, turn it down on your desktop and listen to a podcast while you do some more clicking and but yeah, it's got a little bit of story to it as well, which is like this dude is avenging his father, who was a great fighter or something, I don't know. But let's just check our fridge, because I can't remember if there's anything in there, which there isn't. So we're going to need to go to work. Now, everything in this game has positives and negatives. So we've got our mate Roy's house over here, so we can go spend time with Roy. We can go to a cafe and do some jobs or get some food, that sort of thing. We can go to work over here and spend some time over here. We can go to the gym, but that'll cost us money to train much harder than we can anywhere else. We can go to the grocery store to buy some food. We can go to Mick's office, who's our manager, and kind of just say howdy. We can go to the bar where we can have fights and we can meet people. We can go to the sporting goods store where we can upgrade our garage, which if I head back home, you can see I've already done a little bit. So these pieces of equipment here, you start off with this rug where you can do push-ups, and that's it. And you can see you gain strength and stamina and a little bit of agility from doing push-ups. But you also lose food and energy and a little bit of mood. Or you gain a bit of mood, I can't remember. So, the rug is kind of like an all-rounder just for doing push-ups. But then you've got these other ones which are specialist machines. So the weights obviously are very much focused on strength, and that's a good way to kind of pump your strength up. But you go through food, like your food meter goes down very quickly when you're doing strength workout. You can do I forget what that's called, but the wooden man. And that does a lot of agility and a bit of other stuff. You can do the ball, the punching bag, which is very much agility focused. You can do the treadmill, which is a lot of stamina focus. And you can see the time is ticking down here as well. And essentially this is what you do every day. You've got an A-team van, so that's cool. But you're essentially ticking this down every day, and because we're running out of food and actually don't have a lot of money, I probably should be going and doing some work. That's the wrong one. And you can earn money from doing fights or from doing work or, a whole bunch of different stuff. But let's go see if we can manage to earn 50 bucks. We might run out of food and energy before then. But you can see I'm gaining some points into my stats from doing this job because it's tough work. But I'm also losing a lot of, food and energy because it's taking time, and also it's taking literal time. But you know, for every time the bar fills up, I get 50 bucks. So you know, unlike other clickers where you just kind of leave it and it accumulates overnight and you come back to it later. Oh, I couldn't finish off that other one. Damn it. That's okay. We'll go to the grocery store and we'll buy some food. There's Joe and Silent Bob hanging out at the front. Lots of references in this game. This guy's name's Apu, just in case you're wondering. We'll buy some meat, because that's good. We'll buy some more meat. And some more meat. You essentially end up just doing the same old things. I could go do a fight, but I'm actually not in a good spot at the moment. So yeah, you know, as far as like clickers go, you could do worse. But it's not like you... Yeah. What I was going to say, this is where we sleep, by the way, to get energy back. Is you can... Because you have to actively partake in everything, it feels like more of a game than most clickers. Where most clickers, you just kind of select a few options, then leave it overnight for it to, you know, accumulate score or points or experience or, you know, money or whatever. So, in that sense, this is much more of a game, and there's a lot more going on as well. Like, there's all these little interesting things here, which I'm not going to get too into because there's no point right now. But let's go finish off this bar here on our job. We might do 1 or 2 bars now that we've got full energy and everything. So we just need a little bit more, and we've got 50 bucks, and we can get another 50 bucks by just waiting it out. So, you know, it's kind of cool in that sense, as in, it's very much a clicker, but it's also kind of an active clicker, if you want to call it that. So you can see here, we gained 5 strength points, but we actually lost 25. So now we're down to actually level 5 in agility and stamina. I believe we've already unlocked a perk, which means we can't go below level 4. So the strength should stay low. But my main stats are agility and stamina because I'm that kind of fighter. I'm not too much on the big strength. I'm more on the quick and the lasting, you know, thing. Know what I mean? So yeah, you got to remember that. And if we come to our character here as well, you can see my traits here. I've got strong legs. I'm a tactical learner. I don't fall down, so I don't lose agility below level 4 either. I won't lose stamina below level 4. And I won't lose strength below level 4. So, you know, before that you could actually drop all the way back down to 1 if you didn't train enough. So it's kind of good that you can put these caps on it so that it's not going to get too hardcore. But now that we've done that, we can come over to the shop again, and this is kind of the loop of the game where you do some work, you buy some food, you try and min-max it so that you can get plenty of stuff, you know, enough stats out of each purchase relative to how much you lost and all that kind of thing. And then you come here because we don't need to go to the gym because we've got all this gym equipment, and we train. And you just kind of watch him play with the wooden man for a while. Just let those stats pump up. And that's pretty much the whole game. There are story elements and stuff as well, like there's characters you meet, and there's different places you can go, and different choices you can make about how you want to interact with people, and, you know, different fights that you can enter, and all that kind of thing. Maybe we'll enter a fight before we finish up the video, but for now, it's like, this is pretty much it. And that's what I mean by it being a clicker. Like, there's not a lot else to it. It's all about just balancing stats. And you can see if you actually train too long, you start earning less for what you're doing. So you can see these pips are now a bit lower than what they were when we started. So I'm going to go eat and then sign up for a fight. And then we might actually work our way through... yeah, we'll do that. We'll work our way until this fight is ready to go. So we've got 2 days until the fight. And if we look, we'll probably be fighting either Roy Jackson or Dragon Ray. So there, you can see their stats over here as to how they compare to us. So Big Slayer, which is my dude, is 466. That dude's 423. So we are kind of ahead of our game at the moment. But they also have different moves and things which are perks. So this guy's good at dodging. You know, this guy is good at taking damage. Because he's very high stamina actually, wow. So, you know, all these things kind of come into it. But the fights, I think, are the greatest example of how much of a clicker this game actually can be. Because ultimately the fights don't do anything. And there's no skill to it. all you do is build up your stats during this part of the game. And that's it. It's the only thing you have influence over, really. And eating and sleeping and that sort of stuff, but ultimately you don't have any influence over what happens in fights. You don't have any influence over, you know, what strategy to employ other than, you know, editing your fighters' loadout and that sort of thing. That's the story, so we can see all the people we've met and everything, which I don't want to spoil too much. But you can see, you know, there's different moves here, so if we assign different moves, that will obviously change how our dude fights. Because, you know, if we haven't unlocked backhand punch, so he's not going to be doing any backhand punching, put it that way. Know what I mean? So, yeah. I guess my overall assessment of Punch Club is that it is a lot of fun. It's just one of those games that you have to take with a grain of salt because it's a clicker. And I don't mean that as an insult because I've played clickers before and enjoyed myself, and you know, there's something to be said about that sort of game. So we can actually fight today, which is good. But you can see we gained 22 but we lost 22. We gained 24 but we lost 54. You know, so on and so forth. So yeah, our stats kind of have taken a bit of a beating. And I don't think we have any food left. Oh no, we got pizza. We can eat that. We'll do a little bit of training first, and then we'll go do the fight. So I just want to see if I can pump this up to a level 6. But might be better on the punching ball. Because basically the more dedicated a piece of equipment is to one particular stat, the faster that stat will get upgraded. So let's go do a fight and we'll see what happens. So okay, we are fighting Roy Jackson, who we looked at before. We can see his skills. He's got block, cross punch, low kick, uppercut, and all damage done by the opponent is reduced by 20. So he's a big damage mitigator, so he can take a lot basically. And he's got 423 and we've got 466. So technically we should be able to outdo him on speed and energy regeneration, and we should be able to outdo him on how many punches we can take. And you can see he's got 116 health points and we've got 164, but we both have 100 stamina or energy. But we should go through ours a lot slower than he goes through his, so hopefully that will work out for us. And now all we've got is a kick, a dodge, and a backhand high punch, which we can edit those things, but you can see each one kind of uses different things. So I'm not really sure what those symbols all mean, but you know, whatever. We've also got this, which is a balanced tactic, which means we haven't dedicated ourselves to like strength or stamina or anything. So you can kind of unlock more moves as you go and that sort of stuff. But let's go fight. And this is it. This is a fight. It's exciting, isn't it? I'm not doing anything. I'm not touching my mouse anymore. I'm not touching my keyboard. Seriously, they just fight each other. That's all it is. To the point, I tend to do this. Just put it on 4 times speed, so it gets it over and done with. And you see that was round 1, and I still have a shitload more points, health points than he does, but my energy is not holding up so well. So you know, but this is why I put it on times 4, because ultimately it's boring to watch. And I guess that's the biggest criticism I have for a game called Punch Club, is that the actual fights are boring as hell to watch. Now, I kind of... If I was smart, I'd swap out here for something that's less energy intensive. Oh, but greater energy consumption. Simple and energy efficient move. More powerful than simple punch, but greater energy consumption. Powerful does not require much agility. Yeah. Effective but agility dependent. Gives you a chance to evade enemy hits. Yeah, that's cool. Kick needs more energy. Agility dependent chance of hitting. Yeah, see, I don't really understand most of this stuff. But hey, whatever. We might end up losing this because, you know, he's come back at us and really kicked us in the ass. I think mainly because... Well, to be honest, I don't know. But he does mitigate some damage by having that perk which kind of drops anything we do by 20%. So that could be something. But we may have him, although he's got us down to 7 health points, so I reckon we're going to lose this one. Let's just speed it up and get through it. Basically, after each round you gain back some energy, and as soon as your energy hits 0 you get knocked over, kind of thing. So and there's breakdown of everything and blah 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 blah, whatever. And then this is the gym where we get thrown back at. So we did earn some skill points from that, but we didn't really earn anything else, which, you know, is a bummer. We could go Way of the Tiger, but I don't think we do, because Way of the oh, maybe we do. I don't know. We'll have to find out. There's a book back at home, which we'll go check out, which tells us all about that stuff. Right here. So, blah blah blah. It's basically saying don't try and max out everything, because that's kind of impossible. Oh, I thought it told us what Way of the Tiger and all that was, but I guess not, hey. What is that? Oh, we've got a cat? I didn't realize we had a cat. How about that? So yeah, that's basically the game anyway. The other thing, if we want to look at more story-based stuff, is we can go hang out with Roy here. And see, there's Roy and there's Roy's sister, Adrian. Guess what her role in the whole game is? We can fuck around with his gear, and that'll actually train us as well. Because he's obviously, you know, a tough dude who's doing that. Roy might even be the guy that we just fought, for all I know. But how do I stop that? Okay. But I think Roy might have been the dude. Yeah, Roy Jackson. We probably met him on the circuit and became mates, and then we just fought him and he kicked our ass, so, you know, whatever. But old Adrian over here, it's kind of... This is more kind of the social stuff, like you can talk to people. And she's been talking about how she likes flowers, so I get the impression that I have to find them around the map so that I can pick them and give them to her. I think. Yeah. So she says, you know, look for flowers where you go. Oh, okay. And then we can pick them up and then we can give them to her. So I need 5 more flowers. Cool. So I guess if we... Let's go to the... No, we don't want to go to the shop. Let's go to the pub. Just to kind of check it out anyway. And maybe there's some flowers there. There's a flower. And here's Tyler. I wonder what he's a reference to. We can also pull food out of here. This is how we can get kind of free food. And we can have like fights with Tyler here as well, and yeah, it's all a bit weird and wonderful, but where else can we go? Let's try... see if there's any flowers here. Flowers, flowers, hello flowers. Flowers, flowers. No flowers. Flowers? Any flowers? So this guy will also, potion vendor will sell us some steroids that we could use for fights. This guy sells us, you know, food and equipment. At the abandoned warehouse here is where we can partake in illegal fights. With this guy being like all shady and stuff. But illegal fights can actually leave you super injured because there's no regulations or anything, obviously. So, you know. Need 2 more flowers. We can try the gym, I guess. Got any flowers? It costs money to actually go into the gym, so we won't do that right now. We could try at home. Oh yeah, got one there. 1 more flower. Don't think we'll have any in here. Yeah, kick those boxes. So yeah, you can see it's got some very light elements of story and point and click and exploration, that sort of thing. This is Mick, who's your grimy old trainer, like your manager. And there's like references galore here. I mean, hello Raiden, hello Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, hello Sub-Zero, and fucking Indiana Jones, and that looks like maybe Magneto or Shredder. Who knows? And there's, you know, it's 80s fight game, the movie, the game. You know what I mean? Here, the girl, have some flowers. Thank you. I guess my brother was right. Oh, we should hang out more. Yeah, you're in love and don't need much. Spend less energy while training and don't need much food. Wow, that's really cool. Oh, so that must last like 4 days. In love. Nice. Cool. Well, that's where I'm going to leave it. Because yeah, Punch Club is kind of, it's interesting and it's worth checking out if you're into that sort of thing. And these days, to be honest, you can pick it up pretty cheap, so I wouldn't necessarily be too bothered by it. But remember, it's a clicker. It's a clicker through and through. There's nothing more to it than managing these stats up the top here. That's all you're doing. Even like falling in love with Adrian here, all that did was give us a stat boost. So I won't be spending as much energy when I train, and I won't need as much food. So, you know, I got a buff by cruising around looking for those flowers. And that's it. But ultimately, it's all tied into these stats, and it's all tied into clicking for more of these stats and managing them and balancing them and, you know, doing all that sort of stuff. So don't let that put you off, because it's actually really cool. But at the same time, don't think it's anything more than that, because it's really not. It's just a very pretty version of that, because under the hood, it's all just variables. Which I guess is kind of like every game, when you think about it. No, but this is like very much just like any other clicker. It's just a very pretty one. So I would recommend it on the basis of the fact that it looks cool and it's got a nice theme, and it's kind of makes you chuckle every now and then with some funny references and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, that's enough, I think. But that's why, you know, I wanted to do a video on it, because it's kind of unique in that sense, and I think that's what makes Punch Club unique, is the fact that it is a very pretty looking clicker. So if you're into that sort of stuff, this is maybe one of the better ones to get into. But anyway, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.